Good morning and welcome to the December 6th session of the Utah Board of Oil, Gas, and Mining. We'll be starting with a briefing session, and I will turn the time over to Dana Dean.
Thank you, Chair and Board. Good morning. As you see, new face here, Dana Dean, Acting Director. Our first two items will be covered by Natasha Balliff, our Legislative and Policy Coordinator, so I'll just turn the time over to her.
Good morning. As Dana said, I'm Natasha Balliff. I'm the Legislative and Policy Coordinator. First, I'm going to start off with the upcoming legislative bills that we are aware of. There will be some edits to the mineral tax credit. I believe we brought it to you last year. This dealt with just giving tax credits to different mines, and when we started really looking at it, we realized that things weren't credit transfer. Currently it says person. We're going to change it to operator. The credit has to be used at the site it was earned, and we'll change it so that it says that you can reopen a mine, a closed mine. The next one is a mineral mine public comment period. This is one that we've wanted for a few years, and we're really hopeful that it goes through. This will be led or sponsored by Representative Bollinger. It moves the public comment period to the beginning of the review process. So as soon as the minerals team gets a complete application, that will start the process, and we can get public comment at the beginning of it instead of the end. And we will also clarify who can comment. So commenter must be directly affected by the mine that they're wanting to comment on. The next one is produced water. This one will define when a water right is needed within the oil and gas industry, and it will encourage reuse. And then the last one, brine extraction. This will address correlative rights and make a multiple mineral statute applicable to mineral brines. And this one is surrounding potash. I don't know if I would, should I expand on that one anymore?
Yeah, potash and lithium are the big minerals that we'd be looking at right now that are kind of blowing up at the moment as far as popularity and need. There could be other minerals that would be extracted through brines, but those are the big ones right now.
Yeah. So these are the four that we're aware of right now. If you have any questions, I can take them. If not, I can just move on to the rulemaking portion.
Board, any questions?
Yeah, in general, where is that third item at this point in time, the produced water? Define, or what is the general definition of when a water right is needed?
That is a good question. I think Bart knows a little bit more on it. They've had just a couple meetings on it, and I know Bart has been a part of it.
Yeah, so the intent of the bill is to give clarification for the state engineer in water rights of when a water right is required and when it is not, and then also to define what produced water can be used for, and as Natasha Balliff previously covered, to encourage the reuse of water. And so I apologize, I can't remember what your original question was.
My question is, when is a water right needed? What's the general idea there?
Okay, so the high level of the bill as currently constructed is that if produced water is used for the extraction of oil and gas activities, in other words, if it's produced out of the wellbore, it comes to the surface, they process it, it goes back down the wellbore, rather that be for completion activities or enhanced recovery activities that would not require a water right. If the water is used for some purpose other than that, then it starts to engage the state engineer's office and requires a water right.
So if there's some beneficial use other than oil and gas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Along with that, so right now, are there any other beneficial uses besides oil and gas currently that anybody's saying?
There's not necessarily anything being practiced in the state. I mean, the technology's there to clean water up to standards where it could be used for something else, but it's not, in a practical sense, it's not being done to my knowledge at this point.
I have one other question.
Yeah, sorry.
Is there any definition in the statute as to what the state considers freshwater?
I can't recall a definition on freshwater. Produced water is defined, though.
Okay.
So I guess this specifically is for brine water, not fresh water. I mean, like there's various mines that discharge water without a water right. So how does that affect it?
Are you speaking of, for example, a coal mine that's
Yeah.
discharging water? This wouldn't affect that. This is for example, where Intrepid Potash is extracting potash out of the brine. What we're trying to do is, if someone wants to come in right next to Intrepid Potash and extract potash or lithium from the same exact brine,
Okay.
that there's some kind of correlative rights like there would be in an oil and gas situation. So that's what we're trying to do, is make it so that we don't have two competing entities trying to take the same brine from the same location with no referee.
Thanks.
And just thinking back to my earlier career at, when I was a facility environmental engineer at Kennecott working on groundwater issues, there was, Division of Water Quality did have definitions for fresh water versus saline waters and things like that. I don't know if those would apply here, but back to you.
Okay. Well, with that, I will move on to rulemaking updates. So currently, we are still working on the bonding rulemaking. Currently, it's on us. We are working on another draft that we're going to send out. This is something, I think that it needs to be known that rulemaking takes a really long time. For bonding rulemaking, we're over a year now, just in the informal phase. So it can take a really long time to get right. And this is going back and forth with stakeholders, making sure everything sounds good, looks good. We want to make sure we're addressing all of the points that we can before we put it in the formal phase, because that has a lot more guardrails in place that we have to work around. So we're still working on bonding rulemaking. We are working on disposal pond rulemaking. We just got language back for the carbon sequestration. Just to give you an idea, that's 44 pages that we've been going through, making sure everything works within the Utah rulemaking manual. They have guards there to make sure everything is uniform. We have notice of opportunity to participate that needs to go out, have comments, get comments from stakeholders. We have venting and flaring on our list. And then upcoming next July, I'm hoping to bring it to you guys in May, is a 5-year renewal of all of the coal rules. So with all these rulemakings, we try to utilize different staff members, so it's not all on one person, so they're not, I mean, this is in addition to all of their job responsibilities, so we just try to spread the love out, make sure everyone is included. But again, it's just a really big, rulemaking always ends up being bigger than we anticipate. So these are the current rulemakings. We have other rulemakings on the list. I even have a master list that's probably 3 times this length. So we still have long-term bonding on the horizon. We have horizontal drilling, seismic exploration, electronic meetings for within the board rules. We have different procedures for the board and hearing officers that want to make sure those procedures are clear. And then upcoming in 2025, we have the oil and gas rules up for the 5-year renewal. Wow, sorry, stumbling over words. So I think this presentation is just to give an update, show what we have on our list, and what's upcoming after we finish the ones that we're currently working on. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Board, any questions? I was just curious about the status of the venting and flaring. Where is that? I know.
I have language that I think you had edited, and so I just need to put it into the actual rules. Kind of do like the red line strikeout copy that we send out. So it's on me. I'm the one who needs to edit it. We're trying to get through the carbon sequestration and the bonding right now, so it's a little bit lower priority, but I do have it on my list. I do have the language, just needs to actually be put together and then sent out.
Thank you, and
Yeah.
thank you in advance.
You're welcome. I'll get
Board-
to it, but yeah.
Board, any other questions? Seeing none, back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Natasha. Next month's agenda, I think, is just we'll have our normal meeting in January. And division calendar tomorrow is our annual service award meeting. Some of you may be signed up to attend that. And then we are restarting a Carbon and Emery collaborative meeting. This time it won't be just focused on coal. It will be oil, gas, mining, and other interesting things to do with the region. Travis Gray is the one spearheading that, and the first meeting will be on January 10th. We will make sure that all of you are copied on the invitation, and we will also be trying to do those so that you can attend remotely like you can for the Uinta Basin ones as well. So we'll make sure that you're all copied on the invitation to those, just like the Uinta Basin ones. We're hoping that those will be very useful and helpful like the other ones have been. And again, we want the board to be involved as possible. If you have ideas of subjects you'd like those to cover, please let us know. And that's all that I had today, so I'll turn the time back to you, Chair.
Quick question. Yes. On those collaborative meetings, would you expand the region to include like the Paradox, Lisbon, given the heightened interest in potash, lithium, et cetera?
We could. Yes. This is our first attempt at getting back into Carbon and Emery counties. But yes, I think that's something we could look at for sure.
I don't know if you could expand it to additional counties or maybe set up something different given, what's going on out there.
That's a good idea. Yes, we can certainly look into that. I know manpower is going to be an issue, but we can certainly take that into account and look into it.
Any other questions? Thank you for your time. Now's the time we traditionally leave a spot open for the opportunity for public comment. Is there anybody who would like to make a comment? Seeing none, we will adjourn until 10 o'clock, and we can talk about some other things. And I will see you all then.